That looked like a big fish. Oh God, it was big smallmouth.
The Mississippi River really caters to a lot of my strengths. We were able to fish pools 7, 8, and 9.
That is freaking awesome.
Hey everybody, I am here on Mille Lacs Lake in Minnesota and wrapped up my Crosse, Wisconsin tournament just last week. This one's a little late getting out, took me a little bit of time, decided to leave La Crosse, come up here to Mille Lacs, do some fun fishing, kind of unwind after the tournament. So my apologies for the delay on this recap, but better late than never, so let's dive in. Leading up to La Crosse, as y'all know, I had a lot of confidence going into this one. I won a tournament there a few years ago, had another really good finish the year after that. A lot of water there. And my strategy for kind of breaking down that water and selecting where I wanted to fish, the tournaments that I did well on were on pool 7, so I knew that was an area I wanted to fish. And I had heard some really good things about the high school tournament and a lot of success coming out of pool 9. Now, I rarely, very rarely, listen to outside information. For me personally, I like to stick with my plan, not let anything else get into my head, go with my gut, and I didn't really do that this time. I kind of let the reports that pool 9 was on fire kind of get into my head a little bit, kind of sway my decision, so I focused a lot of my time on 9, a little bit of time on 7. My theory here, I truly believe that there are winning fish on all of those pools. I think you have to kind of narrow down an area, spend a lot of time there, and literally pick it apart, keeping the water levels in mind. I knew going into it that the water levels were scheduled to drop. A lot of times that can really mess with somebody's game plan if they don't take that into consideration. Those fish, if I had some fish in some backwater pools, I had some areas where they could pull out and hang into some deep water. I was fishing a lot of main river stuff and ended up finding a pretty good smallmouth bite on some flooded gravel and then some sandbar drops. So I actually had a really good practice and had several areas that were holding really good fish. Google Earth was super helpful for me on this one. You're able to kind of go back in history and see the river and the backwaters when it's drawn way down, when there's hardly any water in it, and then when it's has a lot of water in it. Really helpful for me to to understand what those backwater areas look like. Also helped me find some areas that I didn't think bass boats could get to with where the water levels were. They were pulling the pools down to I think 7 feet and just under 7 feet on 9, which is fairly low. I thought that'd probably mess with the frog bite and make it more of a, the lake would probably be consistent, and some of those backwater chutes with some current and that deeper cut bank I thought would probably really play. So that was my strategy. That's how I kind of selected my water. Had an area with some really great sandbar drops, good current, some deep stuff, some main river stuff, and some great deep cut bank. So let's go into day 1 and see how that went. think that's a 15. 15 and a quarter. Very angry smallmouth. Man, I can't find my size today. Oh, dang it. That one took my craw. Didn't feel super big though. So there's a drop off this sandbar right here. That's where they're sitting. That one's not gonna help me. Not gonna help me. So with these little drops, you gotta be at the right place at the right time with the right fish. That's a really very real thing right now. Bites. I know they're here. That is a sight for sore eyes.
How are you?
Been better, but this will help.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Do you think that this is fixable?
Well, I tucked the cable. It's on your on the right side, that
okay.
Or the left pedal. The cable snapped. I heard a loud snap and the cable was hanging out, so I tucked it. I'll show you. It's underneath here.
All right, we'll find it.
Yeah, but I tucked it up into there because it kept rubbing on stuff. I don't know, but it made me nervous.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. I'm doing okay, but I need to get back out there and coal a bit. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it. What a terrible net job. You literally can't miss these. Oh. That's a good colt. You've got to be kidding me. So, phone won't turn on. Need phone to take pictures. You got to figure out what's going on. I probably had 4 hours today. I didn't fish at all. Waiting for my drive and just sitting there and trying to get back to the ramp and with a broken drive. Like it was it was just one of those days, but you know what? And I'm so exhausted. My legs hurt so bad right now, and I'm so far away from the ramp. I got so lost. Like I'm gonna be in a lot of pain. Like it's gonna take me probably an hour and a half to get back. And then my tracks disappeared, so I couldn't. Like I'm so far from the ramp right now, and I'm like, there's nothing anybody can do. I gotta get back. You know, freaking exhausted. The last 2 hours of the day I didn't even fish. Worst day I've ever had, guys. I don't even like. That's probably the worst day I've had. And I have a long ways to get back to the ramp. I'm gonna have a lot of work to do tomorrow, yo. What a catastrophe. Probably one of the worst overall days on the water that I've ever had. Broken drive, just mishap after mishap after mishap, and everything seemed to go wrong. Didn't think I was going to be able to rebound for that. I had 79 inches and I was sitting in, I think, 23rd place out of the 85 anglers. Definitely wasn't very happy with that. Just had a really, really tough day one. I wasted a lot of time. Tried to get to one of those backwater ponds that had some really big largemouth. My tracks on my map got erased. Couldn't find the way to that pond. Wasted the last 2 hours of the fishing day not actually fishing. Took me forever to get back up to the ramp. Guys, it was a nightmare of a day. Now, the lesson there, despite that, had to keep my head game strong, got my things together, and decided to go into day 2, fresh start, to do my best. So let's take a look at day 2. Yeah, I don't know if you can see those, but those are some. Current's not the same. Water's a bit lower. Not feeling it, guys. It's not good. Not a good sign, guys. That largy. That's a good smallmouth, finally. That looked like a big fish.
Oh God, it was big smallmouth. Big smallmouth. Oh, stay down. Yes!
That is freaking awesome. Saw that fish pushing bait right there, power pulled down right along the shady bank. Knew that walking bait was going to get it done. Oh, thank you. That's that right place, right time kind of thing.
Usually where there's one, there's a couple more of that same size. It's kind of what I've been finding. Good, how are you? Yep, those are all gar. Okay. That is all I needed to know. Big one. Large one. Oh no, 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 no. Let's try what I find. God, be a bass. Please be a bass. Yep, it is. Big small. Oh God. Well, guys, I gave it my all. Kind of interesting. You wonder if you would have sat on this spot all day if you could have done good. Worked a lot less hard too. Didn't catch a check, but hopefully got some better AOY points. Missed a couple of bites there that probably would have helped. That's part of it though. Overall, it was 100 times better than yesterday, so.
Much much better day 2. Lost a couple of fish that I probably really needed, but honestly did the best I could in that area. Fished it pretty thoroughly, fished it pretty hard. Ended up with 81 inches on day 2, so a little bit better. Ended up 3-way tying for 17th place. Still not the finish I wanted. Gosh, you guys, it's just, it seems like it's been one of those years where I've been very consistent in the top 20%, but it's been really tough for me to crack the top 10% of the field. It's been frustrating. I've had a pretty good attitude through all of it and kept pretty positive. I'm still grinding, still fishing hard, but I learned a couple things on this one that's actually kind of built on this whole season. When you hear things from other anglers that have fished the body of water prior to your tournament, a lot of times you have to take it with a grain of salt. Last year when I had all my success, I didn't listen to anybody. Even though it was perfectly legal for us to take information up to a certain time, I didn't listen to anyone at the bait shops. I didn't listen to anyone that was telling me this is where I need to be fishing. I need to go look at this. I 100% trusted my gut, did my own thing, and did well. This year I've kind of listened to some people and taken a little bit of advice and checked some areas that, I came highly recommended, and honestly, it really hasn't worked out for me. I think that's a pretty good lesson in the whole scheme of things. Is we all fish very differently, and we all have different strengths, and at the end of the day, boaters fish different than kayakers. So that kind of taught me, I probably should have trusted my gut, spent a little bit more time on 7. The winning fish came out of 7, and I believe 3rd and 4th and a couple others also came out of 7 on this one. So just goes to show, trust your gut. If you've got good instincts and you've got confidence in a certain area, trust it. No matter what anybody else says, you know how to catch your fish, and that's all that needs to be said about that. So pretty frustrating finish. Did get me, again, decent AOI points, but still looking for that top 10, guys. I'm going to keep grinding. I've got the Susquehanna coming up here in Pennsylvania here in, just over a week and a half. I'm going to load up, fish a couple more days on Mille Lacs for these giant smallmouth. Stay tuned for that video, by the way. I've got a good one for you guys coming. But looking forward to the Susky. Never fished there. Heard a lot of good things, so that'll be the next one on the list. And hope you guys learned something from this. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you always for the support and watching. Hope you guys are able to get out, staying safe, wetting the line, and y'all take care.